You walk into a room and completely forget why you went in there. You meet someone, they tell you their name, and 3 seconds later, it's just gone. You study for hours, but the moment it matters, your mind goes blank. If any of that sounds familiar, I need you to keep watching, because your memory isn't actually broken. The problem is that you've been making a handful of tiny mistakes every single day, and they're quietly sabotaging your brain. Today, I'm going to walk you through all 9 of them. And by the end of this video, you'll know exactly how to remember almost anything. Let's start with the first one, and honestly, this might be the biggest culprit of all. You're trying to do too many things at once. We love to brag about multitasking, like it's some kind of superpower, but here's the truth your brain doesn't want you to ignore. Your brain can't actually focus on 2 things at the same time. What it's really doing is switching back and forth, rapidly, and every time it switches, it drops little pieces of information along the way. So when you're texting while listening to someone talk, or scrolling while you study, you're not absorbing anything, you're just skimming the surface. And surface-level attention creates surface-level memories that disappear almost instantly. Which leads me straight to the second mistake. You're not actually paying attention in the first place. Here's something most people never realize. You can't forget something you never truly learned. A lot of the time, when we say, "I forgot," what really happened is that the information never made it past the front door of your brain. You heard the name, but you weren't really listening. You read the page, but your mind was somewhere else. Memory starts with attention. If you skip that step, there's nothing to remember later. The third mistake is one almost everyone is guilty of, and it's destroying your memory while you sleep. Literally, you're not getting enough quality sleep. While you're asleep, your brain is doing something incredible. It's taking everything you learned during the day and moving it from short-term storage into long-term memory. Scientists call this memory consolidation. But when you cut your sleep short, or your sleep is broken and restless, that process gets interrupted. So you wake up, and the things you tried so hard to learn yesterday feel fuzzy or completely gone. You didn't lose the memory. Your brain just never got the chance to save it. Now, the fourth one might surprise you because it feels productive, but it's actually the opposite. You're cramming instead of spacing things out. When you try to jam a huge amount of information into your head in one sitting, your brain gets overwhelmed and most of it leaks right back out. But when you spread that same learning across several days, reviewing a little bit at a time, something magical happens. Each time you revisit it, the memory gets stronger and more permanent. It's called spaced repetition, and it's the single most powerful learning tool we know of. So stop cramming, start spacing. The fifth mistake is sneaky, because it feels good in the moment. You're letting stress run wild. A little bit of stress can actually sharpen your focus. But constant, chronic stress does the opposite. When you're stressed all the time, your body floods with cortisol, and over time, that hormone literally damages the part of your brain responsible for forming memories. That's why during a high-pressure moment, like an exam or a presentation, your mind suddenly goes completely empty. The information is in there. Stress just locked the door. Learning to calm your nervous system isn't just good for your mood, it's good for your memory. Mistake number 6 is something I see people do constantly without realizing the damage. You're relying too much on your phone. Think about it. You don't memorize phone numbers anymore. You don't remember directions. You don't even have to recall facts, because everything is one search away. And look, technology is amazing, but your memory is like a muscle. If you never use it, it gets weaker. Every time you outsource a memory to your device instead of trying to recall it yourself, you're skipping a rep at the gym. So challenge yourself. Try to remember first, and only check your phone as a last resort. The 7th mistake is all about how you treat your body, because your brain is part of your body too. You're not moving enough. Exercise isn't just for your muscles and your heart. When you move your body, you pump more blood and oxygen to your brain, and you actually trigger the growth of brand new brain cells, especially in your memory center. People who move regularly remember more, think faster, and stay sharp far longer. You don't need to run marathons. Even a simple daily walk can give your memory a serious boost. Now we're getting to the 8th one, and this is the difference between people with average memories and people who seem to remember everything. You're trying to memorize instead of understand. When you just repeat something over and over, hoping it sticks, you're forcing your brain to work way too hard. But when you actually understand something, when you connect it to things you already know, it slots into place naturally. Your brain loves connections. So instead of repeating a fact 100 times, ask yourself why it's true, how it relates to something else, or what story you can attach to it. Meaning makes memory. And that brings us to the 9th and final mistake, the one that quietly undoes all your hard work. You learn something once, and you never come back to it. Here's the harsh reality. Your brain is constantly deciding what's important and what's not. And the way it decides is simple. If you never use a piece of information again, your brain assumes you don't need it, and it lets it fade away. This is called the forgetting curve, and it's brutal. But there's good news. Every single time you revisit something, you tell your brain, "Hey, this matters, keep it." A quick review the next day, then a few days later, then a week later, can take something fragile and make it stick for life. So let's bring it all together. Memory isn't some fixed talent you're either born with or you're not. It's a skill, and it's shaped by your habits. Pay real attention. Stop multitasking. Protect your sleep. Space out your learning. Manage your stress. Don't lean on your phone for everything. Move your body. Understand instead of memorize. And review what matters. Fix even a few of these, and you'll be amazed at how much your brain can actually hold. So here's my question for you. Which of these 9 mistakes are you guilty of right now? Be honest and drop it in the comments. I read them. And if this video helped you see your memory in a whole new way, do me a quick favor and subscribe, because the next one is going to show you how to learn anything twice as fast. I'll see you there.